Antwerp. As part of the chain ID in secondary school, first grade, age 12 till 14, we are right now developing a project together with a science center in Belgium, where children need to find out who has committed a crime. How can they find out? By using chemical experiments. It's based on the idea of the crime scene investigation thing, which is quite popular in Belgium on television. We are launching this in 2011, which is the International Year of Chemistry. There's also another project called Chemistry and the Youth for the age group of 14 till 16, where professionals of chemical companies go to the schools and tell about their jobs. And it's not an HR manager or always an HR manager from a company that is going. No, it can be a process operator or a shift supervisor who's going to a technical school and tell the children about what working in the chemical industry really means. We do like 125 presentations a year, and we reach approximately 3,000 students. In Belgium, it is not a big secret that we have problems with the image of the chemical industry. Traditional assumptions are pollution, hard work, noisy, etc. And in an attempt to counter this point of view, we set up an exhibition where we make young people discover the contributions of chemistry, plastics, and life sciences to sustainable development. The project is called The Essence of Life, and it consists of an interactive, even guided tour of 90 minutes at Living Tomorrow Innovation Center. We try to show there the innovative solutions of the sector for 5 global challenges, which are water, health, energy, food, and national resources. This is just an image of how the exhibition works. There are 5 different challenges, as I said, and they are linked to 5 different rooms. For example, in the kitchen, we show how the transportation of water is done without loss, how the purification of water is done, the use of biodegradable washing up products, and so on. Each year, we reach 30,000 children in the exhibition, and it's open for elderly people as well in the weekends. So we hope this helps to improve our image. For the eldest in school, in secondary school then, there is a project called Meet the Boss, where students go into an active discussion with the CEO of a company. And when I CEO, I really mean top level. The theme they're discussing is likely to be a little bit controversial. For example, the next session in October with the CEO of Monsanto in Belgium will be on how genetically modified food can be an answer to the famine problem in the world. I can imagine that children of that age have an opinion on that subject, so it's going to be lively. Yeah. In higher education, for us as a sector, we think choices are already made there. One is studying chemistry, or one is studying to become a nurse. We can't change that anymore. So it's up to individual companies, in our point of view, to make sure that the ones that are studying civil engineering, for example, are really coming to our sector to work for them. We do give presentations on job fairs at universities, for examples. And we've developed as well a master class on process safety engineering, which is something very specific for our sector and which didn't exist until today. I've talked until now about how we are trying to motivate people to come to our sector. But another part of the solution might be that we need to invest more in training and competency development for the workers who are already there, the aging ones, as we call them. You can read the mission statement again, but we have sector-specific training centers in Belgium. They are called ACTA and Ceforsim. They both have high-tech training facilities. We have even a mobile training factory where we can move the factory into the company so that the workers don't have to come to the training center anymore. But what is also important for us there is that it's not only open to workers in the chemical industry, but we try also to get there as many students as possible for training. Why? Well, because there they can make mistakes without consequences, and in schools they don't have the state-of-the-art equipment as we do have in our training centers as well. Competence policy is the new buzzword in Belgium, and so with the support of the government we have set up quite a large project where we gather best practices on competence policy in the Belgian chemical industry. And then, yeah, of course, we are disseminating them over the sector. We have installed a network of professionals on this theme. And what is important is that larger companies have agreed to help the smaller ones, which is 80% of our members, to start with this team. This project should, in the end, result into a sector-specific competence center, where we can send out people to do consultancy in individual companies. What we are also doing is developing labor market profiles on a sectoral level for several jobs, for example, for a process operator or a shift supervisor. The company's competencies are listed up so that everyone knows very well what, for example, a process operator must be able to do when working in one of our companies. But we also use these labor market profiles to screen the educational system. Our people or our students really thought what they need to know when they come and work for us. We don't want no longer to have to retrain students who are coming to our companies for several weeks or even months, because what they've learned at school doesn't correspond anymore with the reality. Labor market profiles help us heavily. And in the end, at this moment, tests are being developed to screen people on their competences for executing these jobs. It's not the purpose to have an exam before you can become process operator, but we will use this when accidents happen and there are restructurations coming up, so that we can screen people quite rapidly, that we can see what are their competences and where should they be trained, so that we can lead them quite fast to another job. My time is up, I guess, so I've got to jump to conclusions. When I go back to the key question of the presentation, our education, training and lifelong learning, an answer to the demographic challenge in the Belgian chemical industry, well, we think that if you work only on one of them, it won't be enough. Putting all your efforts into the educational system and neglect the training and lifelong learning will fail. Taking care of the three of them together, we think, as social partners in Belgium, that we should be able to find an answer to our demographic challenge. But are we sure? No, of course not. But we'll let you know in 2017 if the graph in the beginning became true or not. Thank you for your attention.